All right, what it do, 2K fans? This is your boy JuKING the Boss. I'm back at it again, and I decided to go with some new builds. I was playing around with a number of different builds and trying to figure out which ones I wanted to test out first. And so the first one I decided to start with was my Slashing Defender. Now, before we dive into that build and I show y'all exactly what this build can do and go over its overall caps and things like that, I wanted to give y'all a little bit of information about the update that came out for the Xbox One and PlayStation 4, the one that's supposed to update the game to native 4K 60 frames per second. Now, what I recently found out from this footage that I recorded is that if you're playing the game at 1080p, the game is going to still be locked at 30 frames a second, whereas if you're playing at native 4K, you'll get the unlocked frame rate of the locked frame rate of 60 frames per second. So, you know, it was kind of interesting figuring that out along the way. But when it boils down to it, I needed new builds to try. I needed new builds to have fun with, because I just wasn't enjoying it as much. You know, I wanted to kind of dive into the game with a fresh start, with a fresh face, especially after all the information that we have now. Any build can score, any build can shoot, all builds can dunk, for real. So, you know, I wanted to just mess around with some new types of builds. Now, don't get me wrong, this build I created is a build that can dunk, but I wanted to go with a defensive build that I thought might be interesting to play with. So I chose a small forward, primary primary defending, and secondary driving and finishing. And I thought the build actually turns out pretty well. You know, if I get him up there and level him up, I think it's going to be really fun. As you can see, his high defensive ratings. I went with the height of 6'8". I was torn between 6'7" and 6'8". So I went with 6'8" because that's what my other build, my two-way shot creator, that's what that build's height is. But when it came down to the weight, I decided to go with 227. I think it was a pound lighter. Of course, I went max wingspan, max shoulder width, but I went with 227 to kind of counterbalance for the decrease in speed that I would get from making them 6'8" over 6'7". So when it comes down to it, of course, you max out the shoulder width, you max out the arm length and the shoulder width on each build. So here's the build right here. Went with the number 3 for some odd reason. I think it was because in the prelude you end up playing with all these different numbers, and the number 1 is so common in the game. But I enjoyed the build. So first thing I did was said, let me see how this build plays out in the prelude itself. Now in the prelude, it was a lot of fun. Now before I get to the prelude, you already know you got to go over, take your selfie with them J's real quick, just so that way you got your extra pair of kicks at your crib when you get in. Now, of course, I had to figure out which jump shot I wanted, and I usually go with James Harden as a base jump shot for all of my shooters, because the simple fact is, it's to me one of the easiest shots to have, even for a non-shooting build. So in this game, I mean, I started having a lot of fun. The one thing I like about this build is that you're not really going to be able to get past them. So I looked at it and said, oh wow, this build, if you get his lateral quickness up and you get those defensive stats up, you will be a problem. Like, it's to me, I thought the two-way shot creator was only second to the pure lockdown defender, but when it comes down to it, this might be a more dominant secondary build to the pure lockdown defender. Wanted to see what I can do on offense, and of course I'm taking it to the rack. I'm banging. I love this build. Give him with a little move, hit him with a man inside. I'm gonna cut. I'm gonna take it right on in with the finish, with a nice little relentless finish acrobatic layup. So I like this build. I mean, this is it felt good to kind of get back in the game and just have some fun. And you see how you keep the man in front of you, and I'm looking at it and saying, I'm playing great defense on this guy. Now, don't get me wrong, I understand it is a prelude, so you play easier competition, and I really was gonna say, okay, well, let me see how this boils down when I take this bad boy to Pro-Am. I had to see if I got the 3. Just missed it. So, you know, other than that, he's great at grabbing boards. He can drive really well, even in the beginning. I said I was going to really test it and see it in Pro-Am walk-on, because in Pro-Am walk-on, can't nobody choose to not want to play with you unless they just quit out and everything. But he plays, like I said, he plays a pretty good paint presence. He can stay in front of his man better than most. I'm taking it in for the layup, try to finish with something real nice. Now, on the defensive side, that's where this build kind of really shines. I'm gonna really start messing around with the shot and seeing if I can create a good jump shot for it. Especially once I unlock the jump shot created with this build. Like I said, none of my builds I ever plan on buying VC for, even though I'm testing and playing around with these builds. I'd rather just take a couple days to see the progress of this build. So I'm working on another build, point guard build that I really thought might be fun to play with, and I'm gonna go and finish that one. So I'm working on a point guard build that I really thought would be nice to finish with. But now we're gonna look at the attributes. Now, if you look at his dunks around 80, 78, and it's still got 2 spots to go. So I don't think he'll be able to get contact dunks when it comes down to contact dunks 1 through 3. But of course, I will be able to get big man contact dunks guaranteed even early on. And the one thing, like, I really looked at his defensive stats, because like I said, shooting, if you got the right shot and you know how to shoot, you'll be able to shoot. Anybody can score. Like, that's the one thing about it. So having a defensive first heavy build was perfect. I play with a lot of defensive players. I got a man who created a 2-way post scorer who can shoot the 3 from the corner and from the wing, and sometimes even at the top. So when it boils down to it, I got one of my boys, he's a playmaking rim protector and everything like that. Once again, another big man position, and he can shoot the 3 really consistently. Now, if he gets kicked, his AI counterpart won't shoot as consistently. But when it boils down to it, if you know how to shoot, you can shoot. He has great speed and acceleration, 77 for both speed and acceleration. Because I have 3 spots left, I believe that it can go up to about 81, at least 80. So that's pretty cool. The badge setup is nice. Chase down, artist, charge, car, posterizer, lob, city finisher, putback, king, pick, dodger, rim protector, bruiser, one man fast break, pick and roller, acrobat, relentless finisher, hustle, rebounder, teardropper, brick wall, and of course you got your free throw, A-shit, glue hands, and quick reflexes. Now they put me in this game against a sharpshooting athletic finisher, 6'11", and I was like, oh yeah, he's about to try to toast me. But I mean, I had fun playing this game. Like, I was laughing a little too much. I'm grabbing boards over big men and everything, and there were a lot of computers in the game, so I guess that was another thing that kind of like helped with the confidence of it. But I'm playing in the paint. I'm causing all kinds of havoc. I'm creating all kinds of chaos all over. I'm getting assists. I'm dishing the rock. I mean, I felt like I was playing with my 2-way shot creator with a lower overall. He was playing around with that ball. He had to give it up real quick though, because I was going to take it up off of him. So then I'm coming back the other way. I tried to shoot that last minute shot. Not too bad though, not too bad. So, you know, coming back the other way after that first quarter, this is when I really started having fun with it, because as much as I don't score that much with my 2-way shot creator, and yeah, I thought I was doing something in the paint just now. I don't, but you see, I can get that ball out your hand. I just got to be able to recover it. I got to get that glue hands up. Got to get them glue hands up. It's a good build. It's a fun build to really play around with. My man get the jumper going. You know, I wanted that putback. Kick it to me. Hit him with a little bit of that floater, you know. So, you know, on the other end, he went for that. And of course, you know me, I'm trying to get that. If I had glue hands, I'd have scooped that up. You know how many times I done plucked the ball and got loose ball because of the simple fact that I ain't got glue hands? You know, I kick it up the other way thinking I had that Tom Brady arm. Yeah, that thing was flat. Get that rebound, kick it up. You see, I ain't go for the full court and kick that time. I didn't feel confident, but I'm gonna go in and finish. No, I won't. No, I won't. You know, so, and then I realized I didn't have too many dunks actually on this build. I went straight to pro and walk on, so it was, I'm gonna take that steal right there though. I don't know why they was playing with me, because I'm a low overall. And now, you know, kick it up and get some buckets. This is a fun build to play around with. Like, if you a person who really just want to enjoy the game, I always tell people play with the build you're most comfortable with. As you can see, look at it, he played around with that ball, and I made him get that bad boy smooth up. And you already know he gonna kick it to me. I'm gonna go and finish it. There we go. There we go. My man can do something. He got a little mad after I took that ball from him. He tried to go finish it. I led him right to the paint to get his stuff swatted by the big man. You know, this build creates havoc. You know, look at me trying to go save the ball. Yeah, I just ain't got the speed, the stamina, you know, or the agility to jump that far yet. But I'm, like I said, this build can play great defense, stay in front of the man, and contest most shots, you know, and everything like that with a lot of success. Sorry about that one. So I like this build. You know, I'm gonna be looking forward to playing more with this build. I got some good stats for this build. I got some good badge progression for this build. I'm gonna play all online with this build. I'll probably kick in a couple of NBA games just for the fun of it. But I'm gonna really look forward to it. And I'm like I said, I'm gonna drop some more build videos. Sorry that the audio was kind of all over the place and the video was kind of all over the place, but you know, there's a lot to talk about for this build. I'm gonna catch you guys on the next video. That should be coming soon because I got another build I'm working on right now. Peace.